Hey everybody, Arthur here with another unboxing video. Today we have Legend Series, the Mighty Thor, Nine Realms Warrior, and then a bunch of different languages stating Nine Realms Warrior. And this is the young Thor before he got Mjolnir. And he's in that typical Marvel Legends box with the hammer on top. Got Ares on this side. And you have young Thor on this side. On the back, we got a little bit of a bio. Then we got actually Ares and young Thor, or Odinson, on the back. Then you got everybody from the wave. And like I said, I've been going through this whole row, so next is Ares. But let's go ahead and get Odinson out of the box so we can see what he brings to the table. Odinson is out of the package, looking pretty decent. He does come with an accessory and a Build-A-Figure piece, and he comes with the biggest part of the Build-A-Figure, and that is Thor's hairy-chested body. He also comes with his trusty weapon, which is way before he got Mjolnir, and this is Yarnmjorn, and this is a really cool looking axe. Casted in nice like silvery plastic, and then they actually had like almost like a glosses on it the way it's done. It's very, very shiny, very pretty, very, very awesome sculpt work, and this is really cool. So they put a lot of love into this weapon, as they should, as this was the weapon he wielded before the axe, before the hammer, and this is what he wielded when he became unworthy. Pretty awesome. I like it a lot. It's a very cool piece. Now let's look at the figure. All blurry in the background there. Now let's get him up close so we can actually take a look at what he has to offer. So he does come with that Sentry head, with this time with like the blue pupils. Doesn't look horrible. I just think the Sentry head on this is going to look awesome for the fact that it's just going to give him that whole Thor, got powers, all that good stuff. And then he has the same sort of like wash style that Sentry had, casted into like a blonde yellow plastic and then washed like a brown. Looking good. As for articulation for the head, as he can look down and then he can sort of look up, but not really. Arms, throwing a ball, rotate all the way around, bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, wrist rotation, and bend, like typical Marvel Legends stuff. One thing I do like for them doing loose accessories, it did come with some cool little gauntlets. They're separate pieces, and honestly, this whole figure is basically Sentry. The arms, hands are probably from somebody else because they are both opened. Gauntlets are new, but the arms, and from this all the way, like this whole, basically the whole figure is Sentry with some added accessories. Like you get this rope belt, which you guys couldn't see because it was all blurry. One thing I don't like about this figure, and actually if you can look under this cape, it's flesh, and then you get down to this part where it's another one of those sort of like Jane Foster. It's like they didn't sculpt it, they just painted like the shirt is so tight, like skin tight, and it's held together up where his cleavage is ahead from his pecs by a clasp, and it just does not look good. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that he has like a shirt that's trying to show his cleavage. I don't get it. But I'd be more acceptable if it was sculpted and actually looked a little bit more like a shirt, you know. But that's my one gripe so far. He has ab crunch, like really, really good ab crunch. And he can do the splits really, really well. He's got the nasty thigh swivels right there. And he does have a double jointed knee, and it's sort of hidden, which is pretty cool, by his boots. Now, what's cool is like the actual boots, like these are Thor boots. And the reason I can say they're Thor boots is like this is just sort of like what Thor wore. I'm bringing out my favorite Thor again. You can see that the designs are very similar. It's just missing some clasps, like that little silver thing and everything, which is pretty awesome. That they're, you know, the consistency. But I mean, granted, they are based off of a figure in a comic, I guess. But this whole, like, from this whole part is like new. So we do get some new stuff with this figure. And then back to like sort of leg before I got distracted by the boots is you got the double jointed knee, ankle bend, and of course you got that pivot there. So overall articulation, it's good, especially for being a meaty figure like this. And one thing that I really, really like about this figure, besides his weapon, I like this cape. Like I like the little clasp at the top. It would be cool if they started doing like a separate piece, like they would have casted that separate and then glued it on top, just to sort of make it stand out a little bit more, and they'll look a little bit cleaner than, you know, not painting it all the way. But this cape is awesome. I like it a lot. One of the reasons I sort of picked up the figure was because of this cape. Like, look at it. It's got like a dark red, almost like casted. I don't know if it's a wash or if it was like casted that way. It's hard to tell. It might have been painted, but it's almost like a maroon burgundy type red down here that goes up to this brighter red, which is awesome because you like this would be the sun would be hitting this and fading this out, and this would be darker, but this also be tattered and torn because he fights. It's just really well done. Even how it rests on the actual figure itself is pretty awesome. And his axe can be held probably in both hands. Yeah, they both are the same type of fist hands, but probably get some messing around right now. Sort of, you can get some, you know, dropping down action. So he can hold it in a variety of different ways, which I will be probably posing him up with it above his head like he's coming down. So looking pretty awesome. Definitely not a disappointing figure, and you can easily take the cape off, popping the head off, which I will show you. One thing he doesn't, he's sort of like Sentry. Sentry didn't really want to stand very nicely for me. So, and speaking of Sentry, let's bring him into the mix so you can do a side by side and you can see what I'm talking about. They're basically the same figure. Except Thor's hair is a lot higher. It needs to be pushed down. But yeah, exact same figure. Just done differently. So Hasbro, very, very known for that. So Let's do a head swap here. So the cape does come off. See all the muscles on the back. I'll leave the cape on for this head swap. So we'll prop him up there. So this works really well for Sentry. Still doesn't look bad. The thing is bad again is the hair, I noticed, is just not set in the way it should. But whatever. Sentry, set him aside. That's not why he was there. He did his comparison. He's fulfilled his duties. There we go. Now his hair is a lot harder, so it sits pretty tight on the figure itself, but this is basically how I'm probably going to have him displayed. He just looks really, really awesome. But who knows? I mean, this head's still not bad. Still not bad. I don't know. Both of them, I have options. That's the reason I ended up getting Sentry, so I could have that option with Odinson. So definitely an awesome figure. A lot of reused parts. We're sort of getting that with this wave, and he's still a pretty solid figure. Honestly, I almost think I like him more than the Jane Foster Thor. I mean, a lot of reused parts, but still looks really good, and she just has, you know, issues. But this is my review of the Odinson Thor from the Ragnarok wave. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, add a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and have a great day. Keep on collecting. Good luck hunting.